This is Bob Raikes with highlights of issue 121 of the 8K Association Monitor newsletter. CEDIA was a big event this year for the 8K Association as we had a full 8K pavilion highlighting developments in the 8K ecosystem. A particular highlight was the 8K movie content panel, which featured Greg Chiaccio from IMAX and Miles Del Hoyo from Warner Bros, who spoke about the value of 8K and higher scanning of film content. It costs more to scan and archive in 8K, so they spend a lot of time looking at whatever makes a difference, and it does. Del Hoyo reported that Warner's has scanned around 37 movies in 8K so far. At CEDIA, we showed 8K scans from several IMAX archive movies, as well as clips of 2001: A Space Odyssey and West Side Story, both over 50 years old, but stunning in detail and quality when remastered to 8K and HDR. In our article, we summarise the talk, but if you want all the detail, the video is on the 8K Association YouTube channel. Codecs are a critical part of the 8K ecosystem, and at the Association we work with companies at the leading edge of technology to understand what they can do. We've worked with companies such as Spin Digital and Intel to demonstrate 8K VVC, but there's a big battle going on in the world of codecs between MPEG and its standards and the codecs developed by the Alliance for Open Media, a group that's developing royalty-free codecs, and you can only imagine how popular the idea of royalty-free is. The Alliance has almost 50 members, including Amazon, Cisco, Google, Intel, Microsoft, Mozilla and Netflix. More recently, Meta, Samsung, Nvidia and Tencent have joined the steering committee. That's a list of powerful companies, although that in itself is not enough to guarantee the future of a technology. AO Media has given some more details about the soon-to-be released AV2 codec, which is intended to be a competitor to VVC. We looked at the background to these codecs and considered some of the factors that go into the choice of technology. We also looked at the improvements that AV2 should be able to bring in an article. In September, our Executive Director Juan Reyes, these days also the chair of the SMPTE Hollywood section, was part of a panel moderated by Ian Nock of the Ultra HD Forum on future TV technology trends, including of course 8K. They were joined by Chris Johns, formerly the Chief Engineer of Broadcast Technology Strategy at Sky, and Tanya Pooley, an independent technology consultant, and they looked into their crystal balls. Now, my friend John Petty, the graphics chip guru, always says that if you use a crystal ball, at times you have to be ready to eat glass. However, the panel gave an insight into the different factors that can influence video and audio technology adoption. We reported on the panel and gave a link to the full video in our article. In November, the AV over Network standard, SMPTE 2110, celebrates 10 years since technical recommendations for the technology were released by the Video Services Forum. We celebrated that by looking at the pros and cons of the changes to ST2110 from SDI, which was the first technology to support digital signals in video. Critically for 8K, unlike SDI, ST2110 does not specify fixed formats for video. As long as you have the bandwidth, you can support 8K. We also consider some alternatives to the technology which can really change how video is distributed in studios and production sites. This is Bob Raikes with highlights of issue 121 of the 8K Association Monitor newsletter.